Thanks for joining us on this April 28th. Annie, would you be so kind as to do roll call for us?
Hi, Commissioners. Hi, Allison. Have myself, Annie Cathy, Andrew Chorney, Chris Lounsbury, Dylan Jacks, Elena Evans, Jackson Lee, Jason Emery, Kyla Leonard, Shane Stack, Chantel Gaynor, Violet Plummer, and M. Katz, and Amanda Hempthorne. Did I miss anybody out there? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Annie. Is there any public comment on items not on today's agenda? Seeing none, let's just roll right into the consent agenda. It appears as though the first item has been canceled. So we have items 2 and 3 on the consent agenda.
I would move we pass this consent agenda.
I'll second that. Any further discussion or public comment on items on the consent agenda? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Action items. Our first one is brought to us by Jackson Lee. This is a request to approve use of the state of Montana NASPO Value Point Master Agreement for the purchase of Clearwater Park playground equipment at a cost of not to exceed $25,820. Jackson.
Yeah, good morning, Commissioners. This is a key part of a joint playground construction effort between the County Parks, Trails, and Open Lands program and our partner organization at Clearwater Park in Sealy Lake, the Sealy Lake Lions Club. The proposed equipment is sourced from a reputable vendor, meets national safety certifications, follows current recreation trends, and will be installed with oversight from a CPSI certified professional. The purchase of Clearwater Park playground equipment is made possible by 2021 and 2022 Missoula County Parks and Trails matching grant awards. This project exemplifies the spirit of the matching grant program. The Lions Club has championed local community engagement and participation within this project, fundraising to planning to just generally getting the word out. And excitement is rising in Sealy Lake as this project picks up speed.
Nice.
PTL staff have been involved from the onset and continue to navigate the project through the design, permitting, and implementation process. And so far, we have received no objections from kids in Sealy Lake on the addition of another playground in their community. The club is providing cash match, in-kind donations, and volunteer labor to the project. And playground installation, we're targeting August, pending permitting and equipment orders as well.
I don't know. My inbox has been full with messages from kids saying enough already. We've got enough playground equipment.
Oh, this was fantastic. Great work, Jackson, corralling this and bringing it to the finish line.
Thank you. Yeah, we're excited about it.
Yeah, so I would move we make this playground happen in Sealy.
I'll second that. Any further discussion or public comment out there? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Thanks, Jackson. All right, Elena Evans, it's all yours.
Hi, I'm back again. A couple weeks ago, Todd Seib came to you with a professional services agreement for a self-contained unit for putting together our household hazardous waste collection program, and that was signed. And after that signature, we got an initial engineering design that we then submitted to the City of Missoula Building Department to see if that would meet the appropriate codes. We discovered that the code for the seismic criteria needed to be changed from C to D. And as a function of that, we're putting in this professional services amendment as the resulting engineering designs moving from seismic C to seismic D resulted in $2,054 extra dollars.
Right. Yeah. Okay. we don't want to be in the wrong seismic category when we're talking about household waste. Let's get this done right. That's a motion.
Okay, I will second that. Any further discussion or public comment on shoring up the facility?
When will this be ready to go?
Well, you know, this was an initial step. After we get it signed and we get half of the money dispersed, then it's 14 to 16 weeks with some variability depending upon shipping. So our goal is this year.
All right, great. Thank you, Anna.
Okay,
you.
hopefully no earthquakes in the interim.
Yeah.
So, all in favor?
All right.
Aye. Okay, thanks, Elena.
Thanks.
Eric Dixon, PSA with Western Excavating. Oh, there's Shane Stack.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna fill in for Eric. I've got the next three items too, so Eric's out, so I thought I'd fill in for him this morning. Yeah, we received two bids for asphalt paving materials. Western Excavation was the low bid at $60 a ton, or $240,000 for the amount of asphalt we'll need this summer. So yeah, not I guess the only thing I would add to this is that it was $50 a ton last year and it's up to $60 a ton. So we saw a 20% increase in cost in asphalt from last year to this year. So
So because of that, Shane, are we going to be in a position where we're purchasing less asphalt than we had hoped to?
we are doing more chip seals this year, Dave. We're gonna be probably spending close to $400,000 on a big chip seal project. Ideally, yes, we would have liked to have paved more. Patty Canyon, Blue Mountain, Big Flat are all roads that are on the list of roads that we'd love to get paved. But yes, with the price increase, it certainly limits what we can pave.
Wow. It's a bummer, but well, we should make this happen.
Okay, I will second that. Further discussion or public comment on the PSA? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Shane, next item.
All right. So MDT will be doing some road work on West Broadway. We don't know when. Probably in the next few years, they will be doing a mill fill project between Reserve Street and the Y. They plan to generate in the neighborhood of 13,660 yards of millings, which they've agreed to deliver to us at no cost. The millings will be delivered to Inderland Road, Mill Creek Road, and then we do have around 6,000 of those yards going to our new gravel pit site out on Pulp Mill Road. Those 6,000 yards remaining, we'd like to use some of those on Butler Creek Road and on Touchette. We would have MDT deliver those, but there isn't a good turnaround for their contractor. But we'll be able to use end dumps at our leisure to get those millings placed when we'd like to. So essentially, we'll have 4 roadways that'll be essentially turned into a paved surface rather than a gravel surface.
Fantastic use of this material. Great job setting it up. Yeah, I would say we make sure and take MDT up on this offer.
Okay, I'll second that. Any public comment or discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I will say, Shane, I've been out in the 9 Mile area a few times as of late, and the millings we put down on Remount Road look great. You would never know that those are millings as opposed to just a standard paving
That's
project.
fantastic to hear.
Yeah, well, and Dave, what we did for that one on Remount, we did put millings down, and then we did put a lift of asphalt on top of it. So it is paving.
Okay, no wonder
Wow.
it looks good.
Okay,
But I would say go and look at some of the other roads that we did in the Sealy area last year, like the Placid Creek Road, and we did Holland Lake is another one that probably gets a lot of traffic that I don't think you could tell the difference. So on a side note on this one too, Annie, just for I guess the activities of getting this agreement signed, I had sent Juan an electronic version of this for signature just 10 minutes before the meeting started. So she'll have this for signature, and she's the only one that's on it to be signing. So hopefully that doesn't mess things up.
Annie, do we need to update that so that acting chair is on there? Or can Juanita sign the thing?
We could update the motion just saying that you authorize
Chair
Juan
to
to
sign.
sign as chair. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, and then Shane, if you could make sure that I get a copy of that completed contract, then we're good to go.
Excellent. Okay, next item, Shane.
All right, temporary construction easement with Doherty Ranch LLC. This is for the Mullen Build project. There's a stretch, and maybe I'll share my screen and can get a sense of what I am talking about. All right, can you guys see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So for the Mullen Build project along England Boulevard, there's kind of two stretches. I'll show you these, but they essentially are one connected piece. We already have an existing easement. What we didn't have was an additional 5 feet on either side for future improvements, as well as a 5-foot temporary construction easement. And so essentially what this provides is the temporary construction easement on either side of England Boulevard. There's also an easement that comes with this, but the city signing that, so it's a little convoluted, but we didn't need it because we're just going back a curb to back a curb for the work on England Boulevard. We're not going to be doing any sidewalks or bike lanes this particular phase. That would be constructed in future phases, but what this does allow is allow for some additional space for contractors to get in there and work when they are placing the curb gutter, or sorry, the sidewalks and raised bike lanes.
Really good to set the stage for later. That makes a ton of sense rather than having to go backwards so we can go forwards. We're kind of making sure we can go forwards later.
Right.
So Shane, does this easement come with any cost?
No, these were no cost.
Great.
And the other thing I would add too is I haven't updated the commissioners on this yet, but we did submit, I don't know if you want to call it an application, but FHWA did reach out and say they had, I don't know, 3 to 5 million available in additional build funds. So we put our name in the hat and said, hey, if you've got additional funds, we're willing to take it. And we let them know how much we could use and where we would spend it. We probably won't know until August, but there's a chance that we'll be able to get some of these sidewalks and raised bike lanes that were deferred if we're successful in that kind of that, call it 2019 build round 2, if you will.
Shane, is there anything we can do to help make that, I mean, like letters from our congressional delegation or anything, or is it not that kind of process?
I don't think it is. We could certainly go that route, but I got the feeling it was kind of like just submit your information and
Okay.
was it. They try to keep it pretty simple.
Good. Well, good work. All right. Well, I would move that we approve the temporary construction easement.
I'll second. Further discussion or public comment?
Is I'm sorry, is Martin on?
Or any of the other
Any of our media folks
esteemed
on?
media? Apparently not.
Okay,
They're missing out.
they're missing out. Right.
Okay,
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And finally, bringing up item 6, Shane. Juniper and Hickory Lane.
Yeah. So Juniper and Hickory Lane are both roadways in the Sealy area. And I'm going to, again, share my screen, but get up to the Sealy area. I had this loaded up, but it disappeared. Give me a second while it loads. Right now I've got the kind of the spinning wheel going. Maybe you guys will see that. But at any rate, there are 2 roads up in the Sealy area. One's Juniper, one Hickory. They were non-maintained county roads. We had received requests, probably, I would say, fall, winter timeframe to begin maintaining those roadways. And we hadn't in the past. So we evaluated those roadways through our criteria in process and determined that those were 2 roadways that we could certainly begin to maintain. So I don't know. Hopefully, there we go. Can you guys see that screen okay?
Yeah,
Perfect. I'll give you an idea of where these are at. Incidentally, I think Mike's already added these to the list, so hopefully you guys agree to maintain them. Because they've already been shaded blue. So this stretch here is on Juniper. The area in blue right here used to be green. So there's an area that we can get turned around in here that we would agree to maintain. One of the challenges we have with like Spruce and some of these other roadways, they're really on steep grades. They're pretty narrow and they're kind of challenging to maintain. So that's why we're not doing all of them. But I think eventually, you know, we might be able to get there. And then Hickory was the other stretch of roadway that we've suggested that we would agree to maintain, and we can get turned around here. And that's part of the challenge is, like, if you look at images of this road, this stretch is really flat, but as soon as you get right here, it becomes really steep and narrow and not a very good road. So.
has this come up on the agenda for Sealy Lake Community Council? Shane, are they aware?
We haven't brought it to them. We certainly can. That's not a problem.
Well, when we can make a point to mention it. It's
Yeah, no, I think we should.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, we can do it, or you can. The other thing I would just mention while we're talking about it is, you know, this stretch of Tamarack was non-maintained before, so we're slowly kind of picking some of this area up that was once non-maintained.
We can get, Shane would be open, if you'd be open to visiting at the next Sealy Community Council meeting, and see if we can get him on the agenda and talk about this. I think they'd be really interested, and Shane would do a better job than we will.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Yep, happy to.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can Teams in or Zoom in, whatever you'd like. Don't have to go.
And thanks for your work up in the Swan. We heard about what sounded like a somewhat contentious community council meeting up there.
Did you Teams in, or did you drive all the way up there?
No, we drove up, and I think
Man.
we're gonna drive. I think we'll probably end up driving to Sealy. I'll have to check with Dave, but I can cover this road stuff when we go up to cover the build stuff or the building stuff.
Okay, great.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thanks, Shane.
All right, thank you.
Did we vote on that?
I don't
Hey,
think so.
hey,
I don't
Annie
think
did
we
it.
I don't think we did.
No, you
All right.
haven't. You have not voted on that one yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I move that we approve the road inventory for Juniper Drive and Hickory Lane.
I will second that. Any further discussion or comment on adding these to our inventory? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Okay, no correspondence. We have one discussion item, and you need to be out of here at
10:30-ish, but I can be a few minutes late. It's okay.
okay. Chantel.
Hello, how are you?
Very
How
good,
are you?
thanks.
Good. So this is to discuss the proposed cost increases for 18-month extension of the Missoula Correctional Services contracts. There's 3 contracts. One is for misdemeanor supervision, one is for pretrial services, and one is for community service. So the idea with an 18-month extension is it gives us enough time to continue our evaluation of pretrial services and keep investigating if there's needed change, and then help providing support around any potential change. And then a secondary benefit is assuming a future relationship or ending contracts, it puts it back on the fiscal year, because at some point they'd move to the calendar year, and it's been very confusing to everybody. So the increases are a little bit more than we would typically see. Sue Wilkins let me know that it was a combination of the impacts of inflation that she's been experiencing, as well as in particular pretrial services. They've had a lot of challenges in hiring and maintaining staff, and some of that is wages offered, opportunities to work other places, that sort of thing. So the difference, the community services and misdemeanor supervision grant are both asking for a 3% increase. And the pretrial services, or not grant, sorry, contract, and the pretrial services contract, they're asking for a 4.3% increase. The grand total over the course of the year is just under 21,000. And so I brought it to Chris. Chris wanted me to bring it to you to discuss if this was affordable, in line with what you're thinking. And if so, you know, I can move forward with getting contracts brought before you. And if not, if you want to negotiate, if you want to have a conversation with Sue, all of that can be arranged. So I kick it over to you for discussion.
Do you think that's reasonable?
I do, especially the 3% is well in line with, it's very close to our own estimates of cost of living. And they absolutely have been challenged with staffing, and it is having impacts on their ability to deliver services. So just in pretrial, that it's just shy of $12,000 over the course of a year. If $12,000 means we get quality service, I think that's worth the price of admission.
And Chantel, that 18 months, which if I understand it right, started kind of already, that gives us enough runway to, as you described, support any changes that we decide have to happen.
Yes, I think that, you know, there's a deeper conversation there, and, you know, a lot of elements, but 18 months is a good window of time to be able to finish the work that we've started.
And it looks like Amanda has her hand up. Amanda.
I do. Chantel asked me to be here today to answer questions or provide some insight too. I would really like to see this contract move on to the fiscal year. It's been challenging to track it down. As far as the increase that's proposed for the remainder of this year, and the funds available in the budget and how that's been handled, I don't see a problem with that $20,000 with the kind of off schedule between the calendar years and fiscal years that we've had before. We actually have a little bit of a cushion in the budget right now to be able to absorb this. So I just wanted to give you that little bit of information as well.
Thanks, Amanda.
Okay, that's good to know, Amanda. Thank you.
Go forth and draft the contract.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. And let's not let up on our attempts towards bringing things more in alignment with what we understand to be nationally known best practices.
Absolutely. All righty. Well, I'll be back next week with this contract.
Great. Thank
Okay.
you, Chantel.
Thanks, Chantel.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, we've exhausted all of our
Perfect.
business today. So without further ado, we'll be adjourned.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good day.